Gerald P. Carr, Edward G. Gibson, and William R. Pogue were the three astronauts who were part of the Skylab 4 mission, the third and final manned mission to the Skylab space station, which took place in 1973–1974. Skylab was a space station launched by NASA in 1973, and it was the first United States space station. It was launched as an experimental laboratory to study the effects of long-term spaceflight on the human body, as well as to conduct scientific experiments in microgravity. The Skylab 4 mission lasted for 84 days, from November 16, 1973, to February 8, 1974. The astronauts aboard the Skylab 4 spacecraft spent their time conducting scientific experiments, performing maintenance tasks, and taking photographs of the Earth. Gerald P. Carr was the commander of the Skylab 4 mission. He was born in 1932 in Colorado, and he served in the United States Marine Corps before becoming an astronaut. He flew on the Skylab 4 mission as his first and only spaceflight. After retiring from NASA, he worked in the aerospace industry. Edward G. Gibson was the science pilot of the Skylab 4 mission. He was born in 1936 in New York, and he earned a Ph.D. in engineering from the California Institute of Technology. He was selected as a NASA astronaut in 1965 and flew on the Skylab 4 mission as his first and only spaceflight. After retiring from NASA, he became a professor of engineering at the University of California, San Diego. William R. Pogue was the pilot of the Skylab 4 mission. He was born in 1930 in Oklahoma, and he served in the United States Air Force before becoming an astronaut. He flew on the Skylab 4 mission as his first and only spaceflight. After retiring from NASA, he became an author and speaker. The Skylab 4 mission was notable for a brief period of tension that occurred between the astronauts and NASA Mission Control. The astronauts felt that they were overworked and that they did not have enough time to rest and relax. They also felt that Mission Control was giving them too many tasks to complete, which left them little time for scientific experiments. As a result of the tension, the astronauts went on a strike of sorts, during which they stopped communicating with Mission Control and refused to perform some of the assigned tasks. After a few days of negotiation, the astronauts and Mission Control reached a compromise, and the mission continued without further incident. Overall, the Skylab 4 mission was considered a success. The astronauts conducted many scientific experiments, including studies of the Sun, Earth, and human physiology. The Skylab space station remained in orbit until 1979, when it re-entered the Earth's atmosphere and burned up. Skylab 4 was the longest manned mission at that time, and the astronauts broke several records during their time in space. They spent a total of 2,017 hours in orbit and traveled over 34 million kilometers. They also conducted 4 spacewalks, which totaled over 22 hours. The scientific experiments conducted by the Skylab 4 crew were diverse and included studies in astronomy, solar physics, materials science, and life sciences. Some of the notable experiments included the Apollo telescope mount, which was a solar observatory that provided detailed information on the sun's activity, and the human vestibular function experiment, which studied the astronauts' ability to maintain their balance in microgravity. The Skylab 4 mission also demonstrated the importance of crew psychology and human factors in long-duration spaceflight. The tension between the astronauts and Mission Control highlighted the need for effective communication, workload management, and crew support systems. These lessons were applied to subsequent space missions, including the Space Shuttle program and the International Space Station. After their return to Earth, the Skylab 4 astronauts were celebrated as heroes and received numerous accolades and awards for their contributions to space exploration. The Skylab program, in general, paved the way for future space stations, such as Mir and the International Space Station, and demonstrated the value of a long-duration spaceflight for scientific research and human exploration. In conclusion, the Skylab 4 mission and its crew, Gerald P. Carr, Edward G. Gibson, and William R. Pogue, played an important role in advancing space exploration and scientific discovery. Their achievements and contributions to the field continue to be recognized and celebrated today. One of the interesting aspects of the Skylab 4 mission is that it was the only manned mission to Skylab that did not have a backup crew. This decision was made due to budget constraints and a lack of available astronauts. Despite this, the Skylab 4 crew was able to complete all of their assigned tasks and conducted important scientific experiments. They also established a record for the longest time spent in space by a crew, which would stand until the Space Shuttle era. The tension between the astronauts and Mission Control during the Skylab 4 mission has been the subject of much discussion and analysis. Some have argued that the astronauts were justified in their grievances and that the incident highlighted the need for better support systems for crews on long-duration missions. Others have criticized the astronauts for their behavior and suggested that they were not adequately prepared for the challenges of spaceflight. Regardless of one's perspective on the Skylab 4 incident, it is clear that the mission had a significant impact on the history of space exploration. It demonstrated the potential of space stations as research platforms, established new records for manned spaceflight, and contributed to our understanding of the Sun, Earth, and human physiology in space. It also provided valuable lessons for future missions and helped pave the way for the development of the International Space Station, which continues to be a hub for scientific research and international cooperation in space. Another notable aspect of the Skylab 4 mission is that it was the first mission to incorporate significant amounts of exercise as a countermeasure to the physiological effects of prolonged spaceflight. The crew performed daily exercise routines that included jogging, cycling, and resistance training. This approach has since become a standard practice on long-duration space missions and is essential for maintaining astronaut health and fitness. The Skylab 4 mission also included the first use of the NASA Space Food System, which allowed astronauts to prepare their meals in orbit rather than relying solely on pre-packaged meals. This system was a significant improvement over previous approaches and allowed the crew to have more variety in their diet and to adjust their meals to their individual preferences. The Skylab 4 crew also had the opportunity to conduct several public outreach activities during their mission, including radio broadcasts and a live television broadcast on Christmas Day. These activities helped to raise public awareness and interest in the Skylab program and space exploration in general. In addition to their scientific accomplishments, the Skylab 4 crew also made significant contributions to the field of astronaut photography. They took numerous photographs of Earth from orbit, many of which remain iconic images of our planet to this day. Overall, the Skylab 4 mission and its crew made significant contributions to space exploration and our understanding of the challenges and opportunities of long-duration spaceflight. Their achievements continue to inspire new generations of scientists, engineers, and explorers, and their legacy will be remembered for many years to come. One interesting fact about the Skylab 4 mission is that it set a record for the longest period of continuous human presence in space at that time. The mission lasted 84 days, which was longer than any previous American manned spaceflight. This record was later broken by the Russian Soyuz missions, but the Skylab 4 crew's achievement was a significant milestone in the history of human spaceflight. Another notable aspect of the Skylab 4 mission is that it marked the end of the Skylab program. After the Skylab 4 crew returned to Earth in February 1974, the space station was abandoned and eventually re-entered the Earth's atmosphere in 1979. The Skylab program was a significant achievement in the history of space exploration, demonstrating the potential of space stations as research platforms and laying the groundwork for future space station programs such as the International Space Station. The Skylab 4 mission and its crew also played an important role in promoting public awareness and interest in space exploration. The mission received extensive media coverage, and the crew conducted several public outreach activities, including radio and television broadcasts. The mission helped to inspire a new generation of space enthusiasts and highlighted the potential of space exploration to advance science, technology, and human understanding. In conclusion, the Skylab 4 mission and its crew made significant contributions to the history of space exploration, scientific research, and public outreach. The crew's achievements and experiences continue to inform and inspire new generations of space explorers and serve as a reminder of the challenges and opportunities of long-duration spaceflight. One interesting aspect of the Skylab 4 mission is the crew's experience with isolation and its psychological effects. During the mission, the crew experienced several challenges related to being confined in a small space for an extended period of time. For example, they experienced boredom, homesickness, and interpersonal conflicts. These challenges were significant because they affected the crew's ability to work effectively and could have impacted their health and safety. To address these challenges, the Skylab 4 crew developed several strategies for coping with isolation and maintaining their mental and emotional well-being. For example, they established regular communication with their families and loved ones on Earth, they participated in daily exercise routines to maintain physical health, and they engaged in creative activities such as music and art to stimulate their minds. These strategies were successful in helping the crew to maintain their mental and emotional health and to complete the mission successfully. However, the challenges they faced highlighted the importance of understanding and addressing the psychological aspects of long-duration spaceflight, including the effects of isolation, confinement, and stress on crew members. Another interesting aspect of the Skylab 4 mission is the crew's scientific research. During the mission, the crew conducted a wide range of experiments in the fields of solar astronomy, Earth observation, materials science, and biomedical research. These experiments produced valuable data and insights into the nature of space and the effects of microgravity on biological and physical systems. For example, the crew conducted a series of experiments on the growth of crystals in microgravity, which produced high-quality crystals that could be used in a variety of applications, including drug development and electronics. They also conducted experiments on the effects of microgravity on the human body, including bone and muscle loss, changes in blood pressure, and changes in circadian rhythms. Overall, the Skylab 4 mission and its crew made significant contributions to our understanding of space, the effects of microgravity on biological and physical systems, and the challenges of long-duration spaceflight. Their experiences continue to inform and inspire new generations of space explorers, and their achievements stand as a testament to human ingenuity, curiosity, and perseverance.